Hey guys, back in action here, and today we're installing heated seat mats in these side-by-side seats. I'm doing it for a coworker of mine, so he got this Tusk kit, specifically made for UTVs, I guess. They come with a whole wiring harness, couple pages of terrible instructions, some zip ties that are zip tied together, and then you just need a stapler and whatever you need to take the seats apart. Okay, so now we got the seats off the seat frame, and we got to start taking the covers off of the seat cushions. Start off with the bottom pad because it's a little bit easier. And what I'll do is I'll just take probably 2 sides or maybe 2.5 sides of the cover off, and then I'm going to pull the whole cushion right out of it. Alright, now we got the cover at least halfway off, and we got the cushion out. And so the way this heating pad works is you got your 12-volt power ground off that. They want you to stick that out the back of the chair. It's important with these to not have any big wrinkles in them, as a wrinkle can crease and then it'll break the heating elements. And so this has got adhesive on the edges here. So we're just going to center it the best we can. I'm going to put it just a little far forward because you can see the ribbing in here is where the heat element is. So these back 2 inches or whatever doesn't have any heat. So you don't need heat way behind your butt, so you need it up here and on your thighs. So I'll put it about right there. I'll get it stuck on, and then we'll start assembling again. One thing I kind of forgot to do when taking it apart is I like to draw a Sharpie line where the material starts. That way I make sure I stretch it back the same amount. So I kind of forgot to do that, but I could see where the dust was, so then I drew a Sharpie on it. Black Sharpie on black, you know, it's not going to hurt anything. And I pulled all the staples out by prying under them with a screwdriver, and then if needed, pull them out with the old pliers. I already put the first couple staples in, just for simplicity, so I'm not stressing here. But I just follow my Sharpie line, and I'll pull the material up. One thing that you might be able to see in the time lapse is when the material gets laid on, I kind of stretch it out, make sure everything's smooth, make sure it's all even, because the cushions are just a little sticky, not sticky, but they're just, you know, have a little friction texture to them. So you just want to make sure everything's sitting good, even on each side. Look where your stitches are, make sure everything's centered. And as long as you do Sharpie lines, normally it'll pull straight again. And then I've got 3/8 inch staples in this stapler. It's just a carpenter staple. Basically you just pull it to where it was, throw a staple in, of course, make sure you don't staple your new wires. So I got that centered there. I'm just kind of tucking it up here so it stays out of the way. Make sure you don't staple your hands. If you miss the plastic frame, you'll get a staple in your hand. Got the bottom seat done. So now we're going on to the backrest. And so it's got this nice, I don't know, covering that covers the staples. You know, because I'm sure the backrest either slides forward or you can see behind it for some reason. So they're hiding the staples. These staples are covered by the rails, so that's nothing. But I started to take these staples out just so you guys can see. Here's this cover. It just splits in the center. And then you can dig your staples out of there first, and then once those are out, then you can dig them out of your cloth. I'm gonna rip her apart, and then we'll go over how to cut the pad to fit on the backrest. Alright, so here we got part of the seat undone. I do it down to this corner here, and then up to this shoulder bolster. That's normally enough. So as we take this apart, you can obviously see that the cover is contoured to the cushion somehow. And when you take it apart, you'll find some hook and loop, also known as Velcro. So then I'll start taking this off up to the shoulder. And now we've got the cover up, we've got our heating element, but the issue is going to be that the heating element is too wide and it'll partially cover, or the Velcro, and it'll go up so high that it'll be way over the corner up there too. So what we can do is we can cut it. You can kind of see it with this camera, but right about here there's a braided copper wire going up top. So that's what gives voltage up here for this part of the heating element, rather than just being down here where these big solid wires are. So going up each side is the braided copper wire, or not braided, but woven, I guess. So we can cut it over, but we can't go into that or past that, because then the voltage won't be getting up to the top here. And then I'll also cut the top corners off, and then we'll slap it on and we'll be good to go. So now we've got the pad installed there. Got it all the way up there. And you can clearly see the hook and loop still visible. And then as I showed in the bottom time lapse, but forgot to mention it, we have these silver stickers that they came with. And they just have these for extra adhesive. So I probably won't do one up on the top there, but I'll do one on the bottom to help hold it for when we put the cushion back on. Alright guys, now we got the seat back together. Everything's looking pretty good. I just kind of tied up the wires here for them. Got the seat cushion and the backrest all back together. Thanks for watching.